Preview. The 25 funniest stand-up comedians of all time. Who are and were the funniest stand-up comedians of all time? This is ranked list of the best stand-up comedians of all time. All the people on their list are hilarious and funny comedians, but beyond that, this is a diverse list of people with different styles who approach comedy from various angles. Many of the popular comedians listed below worked their way up through the stand-up circuit and eventually landed a show on Comedy Central. Let's take a look at the funniest stand-up comedians of all time. The 25 funniest stand-up comedians of all time. This list has been completed using information from Ranker, Wikipedia, and Celebrity Net Worth. We have tried to make sure they are as up-to-date as possible. Here are the 25 funniest stand-up comedians of all time. Bob Newhart. George Robert Bob Newhart is an American comedian and actor. Newhart came to prominence in the 1960s when his album of comedic monologues, The Button-Down Mind of Bob Newhart. The album was a worldwide bestseller and reached number 1 on the Billboard Pop Album chart. Bernie Mac. Bernard Jeffrey Bernie McCullough was an American stand-up comedian, voice artist, and actor from Chicago. Mac has appeared in many films in smaller roles. One of his most notable film roles was in Frank Catton in the remake Ocean's 11. Red Fox. John Elroy Sanford Red Fox was an American comedian and actor. He is best remembered for his explicit comedy records and his starring role on the 1970s sitcom Sanford and Son. Fox was known as the king of the party records. Norman MacDonald. Norman Jean Norm MacDonald is a Canadian comedian, writer, producer, and actor. He has made an appearance on shows such as The Drew Carey Show and News Radio. Comedy Central named him 83rd on the 5-part miniseries 100 Greatest Stand-Ups of All Time. Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is a Canadian-American comedian, actor, and producer. Carrey was born and raised in Ontario, Canada. He got his first professional stand-up work in Toronto Comedy Club. Carrey is an incredible actor and he starred in films such as The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, and Bruce Almighty. Bill Cosby. The greatest William Henry Bill Cosby Jr. is a stand-up comedian, actor, author, and activist. Cosby is considered to be one of the 25 best comedians of all time. Bill Hicks. William Melvin Bill Hicks was an American comedian, satirist, and musician. Hicks' material includes a wide range of religion, politics, and philosophy. He has also criticized superficiality, consumerism, mediocrity, and banality within the media and popular culture. Steve Wright. Stephen Alexander Wright is an American stand-up comedian, writer, and film producer. Wright's accolades include the Academy Award and 2 Primetime Emmy Awards. He is ranked at the 18th funniest stand-up comedian of all time. Ricky Gervais. The great comedian Ricky Gervais is an English actor, comedian, musician, and producer. He worked initially in the music industry, attempting a career as a pop star in the 1980s, with Siona dancing and working as the manager before he turned to comedy. Louis Black. Louis Niles Black is an American author, comedian, social critic, and actor. Black hosted the Comedy Central series Louis Black's Root of All Evil. He is also known for his Back in Black commentary segment. Don Rickles. Donald Don J. Rickles was a stand-up comedian, author, and actor. Rickles became well known as an insult comic. He received worldwide exposure as a popular guest on numerous talk and variety shows such as The Dean Martin Show, The Tonight Show, and Late Show with David Letterman. Jim Gaffigan. James Christopher Gaffigan is an American comedian, writer, and actor. Gaffigan has co-created and starred in a TV Land television series based on his life called The Jim Gaffigan Show. Kevin Hart. Kevin Darnell Hart is an American actor, comedian, and producer. Hart was also born and raised in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and began his career by winning several amateur comedy competitions at clubs in New England. Mitch Hedberg. Michael Lee Hedberg was an American stand-up comedian who was best known of his surreal humor and unconventional. His comedy often featured short, sometimes one-line jokes mixed with absurd elements and non sequiturs. Rodney Dangerfield. Jack Roy, better known as Rodney Dangerfield, was an American stand-up comedian, voice artist, actor, and producer. Dangerfield is best recognized for his catchphrase, "I don't get no respect," and his monologues on that theme. Bill Burr. Bill Burr is an American stand-up comedian, voice actor, musician, and writer. Burr has released 6 stand-up specials, and he is best known for hosting Monday Morning Podcast. He is also co-founder of Things Comedy Network. Burr appears 10th on this list of the funniest stand-up comedians of all time. Steve Martin. Steve Glenn Martin is an American comedian, actor, writer, producer, and musician. In the 1970s, Martin performed his offbeat comedy routines before packed house on national tours. He has become a successful actor as well as pianist, author, and banjo player. Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld is an American comedian, writer, actor, and producer. Seinfeld is best known for playing himself in the sitcom Seinfeld. In 2005, Comedy Central named him at the 12 greatest stand-up comedians of all time. He is also the richest comedian in the world. Louis C.K. Louis C.K. is an American Mexican comedian, actor, writer, and filmmaker. Throughout his career, he has won a Peabody Award and 6 Primetime Emmy Awards. He has won the Grammy Award for Best Comedy Album twice. He appears 7th on this compilation of the funniest stand-up comedians in 2019. Chris Rock. Christopher Chris Julius Rock III is an American actor, comedian, writer, producer, and director. Rock began his career by doing stand-up. After his stand-up career, he started to appear in small film roles. He hosted the 77th Academy Awards in 2005 and the 88th in 2016. Eddie Murphy. Edward Eddie Regan Murphy is an American actor, comedian, singer, screenwriter, and film producer. Murphy was a regular member on Saturday Night Live from 1980 to 1984. He has worked as a stand-up comedian and was ranked as 10th on Comedy Central's list of the 100 greatest stand-up of all time. Dave Chappelle. David Curry Weber Chappelle is an American comedian, writer, actor, and producer. Chappelle began his career in 1993 playing the role as a Chew in Mel Brooks' Robin Hood, Men in Tights. He landed supporting roles in box office such as The Nutty Professor, Con Air, You've Got Mail, Blue Sticks, and Undercover Brother. Robin Williams. Robin McLaurin Williams was an American comedian and actor. Williams began his stand-up career in the 1970s in Los Angeles. Williams began to appear in films and sitcoms such as Mork and Mindy and Good Will Hunting. He was known for his incredible improvisation skills, both in films and in stand-up. He is considered to be one of the funniest people of all time. Richard Pryor. Richard Franklin Lennox Thomas Pryor was an American stand-up comedian, social critic, and actor. He was best known for uncompromising examinations of racism and topical issues, which employed profanity and vulgarities. Pryor is widely regarded as one of the best comedians in history. George Carlin. George Denise Patrick Carlin was an American stand-up comedian, author, actor, and social critic. Carlin is best known for his black comedy and reflection on politics. He and his 7 Dirty Words comedy routine were central to the 1978 U.S. Supreme Court case FCC v. Pacifica Foundation. How many of you thought George Carlin would appear on this list as the funniest stand-up comedians of all time? Summary. Here's a quick recap of the 25 funniest stand-up comedians of all time. George Carlin, Richard Pryor, Robin Williams, Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, Louis C.K., Jerry Seinfeld, Steve Martin, Bill Burr, Rodney Dangerfield, Mitch Hedberg, Kevin Hart, Jim Gaffigan, Don Rickles, Louis Black, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Wright, Bill Hicks, Bill Cosby, Jim Carrey, Norm Macdonald, Red Fox, Bernie Mac, Bob Newhart. How many of these comedians did you expect to appear on this list of the funniest stand-up comedians of all time? Leave a comment below. For more videos, we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel celebrity.tn.